What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be going over some of the Call of Duty Vanguard settings that are going to help you with the FPS and not make your game look horrible. If you're new here, my name is JJ and I do live stream daily, so please consider subscribing with the bell notifications turned on so you don't miss out on future content or live streams. Also, if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, make sure to hit that like button. Today's goal is 50 likes. Also, leave a comment down below, hashtag Bell Squad, if you want a chance for your comment to be in the next video. Also, this is my first time dropping merch. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's an awesome way to support the channel, which allows me to put out more content like this. Last thing, links to all of my gaming gear is in the description down below. They are Amazon affiliate links, so I do get a small kickback, but it costs you absolutely nothing extra. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into these settings. Also, guys, if you want to see how your computer's running while you're playing, which are all these settings up here, just go to your interface, scroll down, and here's the FPS counter, FOV counter, all these things. You can select them to shown or hide them if you don't want them. I have them all turned on just so I can monitor my settings. All right, guys, so after doing some research, looking online and testing it out myself, these are the settings that I find the best that work for my setup and getting me the best FPS. Now, some of these settings are similar to Warzone, which I've been using for a while, so I just kind of transferred those over and made a few adjustments. So we'll go ahead, go to settings, go to our display and start here. Now, I am running full screen borderless, and this is because I do stream and I need to switch through monitors all the time. But for the best performance, you're definitely going to want to go with full screen. That way you have less input lag. Display resolution, you want it on auto. Your monitor, make sure it's selected to the one you're using, and at the refresh rate the monitor is. VSync, this is if you're getting some screen tear like you see in this example. I would turn it off unless you do have screen tear, because if you turn it on, you are going to get some input lag. Now, you can limit your frame rate if you don't want to overwork your computer. I have mine set custom to 200, so it doesn't go over that, even though my monitor refresh rate is 144. Some people say just to limit it at what your refresh rate is, since it won't be better than that, but it does feel a little smoother if you go a little bit above it. I just have it set to 200. The menu you want at 60. You don't want to overwork your computer on the main menu. You don't need the best FPS on the main menu. Same with here. Aspect ratio, just leave it automatic. The brightness I left as is, which is the regular 50. Display gamma I have set to 2.2. Now, if you are playing on a TV, like it says here, I would set it to 2.4, but 2.2 if you're on monitor. Focus mode, I just have on off. The display adapter, make sure you're on the GPU that you have. I have the RTX 2080 Super. On-demand texture streaming, this is going to download textures onto your hard drive from the internet as you play. So if you don't have the best internet, you may want to turn this off. You can limit how much you want here. I don't have an issue with this, so I'm just leaving it on for now. Some people say if you turn this off, it'll help with the packet burst. I did not notice anything, so I'm just leaving it on. Now for quality, it's custom because I went ahead and changed some things myself down here. Render resolution, you definitely want at 100. Dynamic we have off. Now the texture resolution, you can get a bunch of FPS just by turning this down. I was on high, dropped it down. I got about 30 to 40 FPS just by dropping this. This really helps out. Texture filter, have on high. Particle quality level low. It doesn't really matter how this looks. I'd rather have some better FPS. Particle resolution on high. Bullet impacts and sprays on. Some people do turn this off. I don't mind it. Doesn't really take up much. Shader quality on high. Tessellation I have on off. Once again, I want the best performance. I don't really care how the ground looks. If you do want it to look better, you can go ahead and turn this on. Level of detail, distance range long. I want to be able to see some targets far away and just the quality at a longer distance. Nearby level of detail we want on high. Distance level of detail on high. Clutter draw distance on low, and the volumetric quality level on low. Now, this section right here is really going to give you a boost in FPS once you turn all these shadow settings and light settings down. It's also going to help you see people that are usually in the shadows, which is hard to see usually, but by turning this down, it's really going to help. So screen space shadows we want on off. Shadow map resolution we want on very low. Sun shadow cascades low. Cache sun shadows on. Cache spot shadows on. Spot cache size we want on low. Spot shadow quality on low. Particle lighting low. Ambient occlusion off. This helps with the depth by adding shadows, but we want the performance. Screen space reflection off. Now for the NVIDIA DLSS, I tested out. I had it on off and I changed some of the anti-aliasing. But for me, the quality gave me the best FPS, so that is why I'm running quality right now. The depth of field you definitely want on off. This is going to just make things blurry, which makes it harder to see things. VRAM usage target default was at 85% for me. I bumped it up to 90. Now you can get some hitching. If you do, make sure to turn it down. For the gameplay, I am using a field of view of 120. As you can see here, it shows you the most on the screen. That way you can see if an enemy's over here. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'm used to it by now. I definitely recommend playing on this so you can really see everything. ADS field of view, I'm running affected. I believe default is independent. I did do a video on this. I'll leave a link above. And pretty much the independent's going to zoom you in even more when you ADS. I like the affected, so it's not as much. Camera movement, you want the least amount of camera movement. This could really mess with you and make it harder to see other enemies. Of course, world motion blur and weapon motion blur, you're going to want off. You can see here, it's going to make it really difficult to see an enemy anywhere when it gets blurry like this. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, I have on plus boost. It doesn't really affect my performance that much, and it helps with the latency. So here I wanted to show the difference of the texture resolution. Right now by default, I was on high. You can see my FPS on the top left. It's about 114, let's say 111. So around there, I'll go ahead, switch it to medium, apply the settings. Now you see how much it jumped up by. We're floating around 150, 160. So you're looking at about 40 FPS higher just by changing that to medium. So with my particle quality level where it's at right now on high, we're floating around the 150, 140s on FPS. Go ahead, change that. The particle quality level, let's change it from high to very low. Go ahead and apply that. Now we're back at that 160-ish range right there. So we gained a little bit just by changing that setting. Well guys, those are the settings that I find to work best for me. Leave a comment down below if you have some better settings to test out. I am curious to see what else is out there. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what GPU you're running and what kind of FPS you're hitting in the game. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, once again, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone that might find it beneficial, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys in the live stream. Thanks.